That hurt.
I'm tuned in like crazy, and I'm pretending like I know what they're doing, and I'm,
articulate and intelligent.
Greg's a bitch. That's all.
I find them offensive as hell.
I've never been a fan.
Yeah, fuck them.
Ooh, terrible! Bad! Not bad! Oh, pretty good. Okay, decent, fair, great. I loved it.
This sucks. Yeah, you really gotta wonder how this stuff, gets made.
All right, welcome to Straight Red Card. We are back to talk about the fans, disgraceful fans.
Which fans? U.S. fans?
Mexican fans.
Oh, Mexican fans.
Very sad in Las Vegas that the United States was outnumbered by that many Mexican fans. I mean,
was it really? Is that outrageous? That crazy? Because I'm pretty sure
it's
that
not
happens
outrageous
every
and
U.S.
crazy.
Mexico game.
It's not outrageous and crazy in reality, but in a more perfect world, you would think you would think there would be more U.S. fans there than there were, and they were just shouted out and shouted down by.
I will
Mexican
say, I will say, as far as that is concerned, this is the big problem the U.S. has. Not U.S. as the national team or anything like that, but just in general, the U.S. fan base has, is most of us are looking at it going, well, this game's in Las Vegas. I'll wait till it comes over here to Columbus or Nashville, and I'll make the 5-hour trip instead of having to fly out to Vegas to work. Whereas when Mexico comes in, you'll have Mexican fans from Canada, from all around the United States, all making the trip. And even probably from Mexico too. Same thing happens with any number of CONCACAF teams, quite frankly. But
no, that's all true. I get it. This is nothing new, but I think what really was mostly disgraceful, of course, was I think the fans know at this point there's a word they're not allowed to say anymore. Whether that's, I don't care what debate you make. At this point, just don't say it. But they're saying it anyhow. They said it right at the beginning of the game. When the first kickoff, they already said that when it was 0-0, I texted you and said they just said the P word.
Yep.
Nothing happened. Nothing was done. And it wasn't said again for the rest of the first half. But once the game got into the later regions of the game where they were already getting their ass smoked and made to look like tiny children on the field, then they were doing it every time. They went through the protocols.
Yeah. Partially. The first time they
called
stopped
the game.
First time they stopped it, and then it happened again. Nothing happened at that point. I mean, it wasn't like it was just like one person yelling up. It was
the whole crowd.
The whole crowd saying it.
A lot of people.
They didn't stop it again.
Not the whole crowd, a lot of people. Yeah.
They didn't stop it the second time, and then it happened again. That's when they called the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at that point, they know that to your point, whatever your argument is, whether or not it actually means this and not that or whatever, you know what's going to happen. You know how FIFA's taking their stance on it. You know how CONCACAF's going to handle it moving forward. And at that point, you're hamstringing your own team by doing it, because all of a sudden the game's being suspended and then it's canceled or called at that point. And but I mean, at that point, again, they're already losing. I think they're just trying to put their team out of the misery.
Yep. No, that's what they were doing, obviously, as part of it. But it's still disgraceful, and it's just so. It's like they don't care. I don't know how long this is going to go on, but I don't see any end to it. They might stop if their team's winning, because then they didn't want to hurt their team. But I don't even know if that's true. I guess we'll see about that. But I mean, as long as their team is playing this poorly, we're going to hear a lot of that. And again,
good.
I was just going to say, I'm not getting into the meaning of the word, because I've heard things from different people, but we all know what the standard is, and from CONCACAF at this point and FIFA, and it's just not an acceptable word. So if it was an unacceptable word in the rest of the world to say pretzel, you would have to stop cheering pretzel.
Feel bad for the Germans in this front then.
Because it meant something to a significant portion of the rest of the world, right? If pretzel meant pretzel here, but if pretzel meant something else somewhere else, and it was a horrible thing, then you probably have
twisted and
if
the
it
pretzel
meant
stick, then that's different.
Well, I'm not even concoct what it could mean in another universe, but if it did, you would probably have to stop saying it.
Yeah, I mean, Mexico plays all of their non-World Cup qualifying matches in the United States for the most part. Why? Yeah. Because they'll generate far more money doing that than playing it in Mexico.
Right.
So, how long before the Mexican Federation deems it not worth the money and starts playing all their games in Mexico City instead?
Well, then there might have a worse P-word problem.
Always possible, but at least you'd be mixing one problem out. This because this is definitely very much a Mexican American, not Mexican American per se, but just a Mexican match that's in America problem for the most part.
Is it? So this doesn't happen in Mexico City?
Well, I have no idea. Actually,
I thought it has.
No.
Thought it has.
Well, maybe they'll just start playing their matches away altogether.
They need to go play in Canada. Because I think
there's no Mexicans in Canada?
No, because all the Mexicans in Canada don't use that word.
Oh, I don't know if they don't.
I don't know. I'm just
poutine.
They're going to do some research. Okay, let's play in Vancouver. Well, I should do that in Mexican accent, but I don't want to offend anybody. Let's play in Vancouver. It doesn't look like most of the Mexicans there have been told what that word is. So let's play there. No one will chant it because they have no clue what it is. And, well, let's go to Vancouver. All Mexican games will be played in Vancouver from here on out. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do because this is, at this point, we're talking about a cultural thing, right? So, yeah.
Well, I mean, Mexico's going to get dinged again. I mean, obviously the game was suspended and canceled, or called at least.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, at some point, the Federation's going to get hit. FIFA's going to continue finding them. There's going to be other suspensions of some form.
Here's the tough thing.
Behind closed doors or whatever. I don't know.
Here's the tough thing. They had to lose the game tonight 3-0. But let's get into a group stage setup where Mexico can't lose 4-0. And then all the fans start chanting that. Because if they lose 4-0, they're out, right? They lose the group. And so it's like start chanting that, and then the game's over.
Maybe this is the long-term plan. Maybe they have this in place so that they can do this at any given moment.
Let's say it's a situation where all they need is a 1-0 or a 1-1 tie. You start chanting that. Do they lose the game automatically because of the chant? I don't know. I know the protocols. There are 1, 2, 3. There's like 4 steps. So we'll see what happens there. All right, so that was disgraceful, and we'll be back with the next segment on the Straight Red Card.
That hurt.
I'm tuned in like crazy, and I'm pretending like I know what they're doing, and I'm,
The articulate and intelligent.
Greg's a bitch. That's all.
I find them offensive as hell.
I've never been a fan.
Yeah, fuck that.
Ooh, terrible! Bad, not bad! Oh, pretty good. Okay, decent, fair, great, I love this! Go, go!
This sucks. Yeah, you really gotta wonder how the stuff gets made.